Okay, so this is called Chuck's Chair. It's written by Gunnar and illustrated by Grace Murdoch. Chuck's Chair. It's fresh, so the pages are hard to turn. There's a dedication on the inside. It says, "For my lovely wife, Jenny, for inspiring me every day and encouraging me to write and keep writing." And then there's another one that's from the illustrator. It says, "For my mom and dad, for reading over me, praying over me, teaching me to read, and loving me so deeply." That sounds very nice. I'm going to turn the air off so we can hear better. There we go. Okay. Now it won't be quite so noisy. Chuck was a carpenter. He had built all the furniture in his house by himself. He had made every single piece with his own hands. Chuck was getting older, though. Unlike the trees he had chopped down to build furniture, he could not stand taller as he grew older. One day Chuck thought, "I'm going to build myself a chair. One I can sit in, one I can work in, one I can rest in. It will be my special chair." With a smile the size of the Grand Canyon, Chuck grabbed his favorite axe and walked toward the woods. When it came to building furniture, Chuck didn't cut down just any tree. He cut down the one that when he laid his eyes on it, he saw the piece of furniture he was ready to build. So, he's very determined to find the right piece, the right tree, to make his piece of furniture. He stepped carefully through the woods, looking at every tree in his path, until he came to a stop. Standing at the base of the tree, Chuck said, "This one is my chair." You can see the tree right here. Lifting the axe from its resting place on his shoulder, Chuck began chopping away at the trunk of the tree. With every swing of the axe, Chuck's excitement grew. As pieces of bark whizzed past him and sweat raced down his forehead, he began to laugh. As he laughed, he began to jump because the thought of his chair made him so happy. On the final swing of the axe, he let out a mighty "Timber!" and the tree came crashing to the forest floor. Chuck grabbed the tree by the trunk and threw it over his shoulder to carry home. He thought of all he could do with his chair. "I can sit in it, I can work in it, I can rest in it," Chuck thought with a chuckle. Once he made it home, Chuck set straight to work. Chuck knew exactly what his chair was supposed to look like, so he did not have to move slowly. Chuck felt more awake and alive than ever because he knew that when the chair was finished, he would sit happily with it forever. Chuck smiled even wider than the Grand Canyon at the sight of his chair. With his arms raised, Chuck yelled, "It is finished, and it is exactly as I imagined it would be." His stomach growled with hunger from a day of work. He decided to run down to the river to catch a fish for dinner. So he's worked hard and he's going to eat a little food. Chuck's chair sat in the middle of the house with Chuck's other beloved handmade pieces, like the bookshelf, the table, the bed frame, the cabinets, and the dresser. Suddenly, Chuck's chair came to life. Can you see the little happy face? A smile inched across its face, and it began to jump for joy, shouting, "Look at how he made me! I cannot wait for him to get home so that we can finally be together. We can sit together, work together, and rest together." Then Chuck's chair began to look around the room. It saw the bookshelf holding all of Chuck's books and thought, "Well, I can't hold all of his books." It turned and saw the table where Chuck ate his meals and said, "I can't hold its food for him." Seeing the bed frame, Chuck's chair frowned. I can't give him a good night's sleep. Then Chuck's chair noticed all the cabinets holding all of Chuck's dishes. I can't hold his dishes like that, it said with a panic. You see, here's the bed. Holding back tears, Chuck's chair saw the dresser. I can't hold his clothes the way the dresser does. Tears began to roll down its face. Chuck's chair cried out, I have to be more than a chair so that he will sit with me and work with me and rest with me. Oh no, poor Chuck's chair. He's getting very upset. He's not sure how he can do all those things that he wants to do. Chuck's chair wanted to be enough, so it hopped over to the bookshelf and stacked all of the books on itself. Now he can stack his books on me. Chuck's chair grabbed the table and threw it on top of the stack of books so that Chuck could use it as a table too. The weight of the books and the table felt like a pile of bricks, but Chuck's chair still felt like it was not enough. Chuck's chair grabbed the mattress off the bed frame. Now if he needs a good night's sleep, he can use me for that too. Chuck's chair began to wobble as it emptied all of the dishes in the cabinets on top of the mattress. Its tears became tears of pain under the growing weight of all the furniture it was trying to be. So you see, he's got everything stacked on there. He wants to be the bookshelf and the table and the bed and the cabinets. He's trying to be too very much. He's afraid that he might let down Chuck. Turning to the dresser, Chuck's chair inched its way across the room. Once I stack his clothes on top, I will be enough. On the very next step, its wooden leg let out a loud snap under the tower of all the different furniture it was trying to be. Oh no! His leg broke because everything was too much for the chair to do. It wasn't meant to do all of those things. Chuck's chair cried harder than ever. If I cannot be any of this, why would he ever sit with me, or work with me, or rest with me? The door opened and Chuck walked in to see the scattered mess that was now his home. Oh, goodness, a big mess. He rushed over and gently asked, What happened here? You made me a chair. Why? I could never hold your books like the bookshelf or your mattress the way the bed frame does. Chuck's chair cried even harder. To the chair's surprise, Chuck began to chuckle. With a smile as gentle as his voice, he said, My child, I made you a chair because that is all I ever imagined you would be. You are exactly as I dreamt you would be when I set out to make you in the first place. You, as you are, as my chair, are more than enough. That is all you'll ever have to be, because it is what you were made to be. Wow, that's very comforting. He knew exactly what he wanted the chair to be. Chuck's chair finally felt like it belonged. Chuck took it to his workshop and fixed its broken leg. From that day on, Chuck and his chair sat together. They worked together. They rested together. At the end of each day, the chair would smile because it knew all it ever needed to be, all it ever had to be, was Chuck's chair. That is the end of our story.